The Discus eGUI imports all of your custom configurations from the standard GUI into a full-featured web client, allowing users to access Discus from anywhere with internet connectivity, with all of the security from the regular GUI in place. There's no need to compile and push-pull screen modifications to your workstations, and changes made to the screens are available instantly for the users. There's also no need to compile and push-pull code changes to the web user interface. When new codes are added to your Discus database, they are available immediately in the drop-downs. Additionally, the mainframe clients no longer need a third-party emulator to utilize a GUI, hence reducing licensing and maintenance costs. The Discus eGUI can be accessed through any internet browser such as Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Google Chrome. For this demonstration, I'll be using Chrome to access Discus. I'm now logging into Discus from the sign-on screen. Notice it has the same fields and functionalities as regular Discus screens. The logon takes me directly to the menu screen. Across the top are a few familiar features and a few new ones. First, notice that I have a log off option, a print option, and a help option. All of these are on the regular GUI as well, but are in a more convenient position on the eGUI. Second, notice that I have labels of Site A, Site B, and Site C. These are customizable by the client sites. We've just used A, B, and C for demo purposes. In this instance, when I click on Site B, notice I have another Discus menu that looks just like what I was in on Site A. When I click on Site C, notice that the menu displayed is now an AdMark menu. The eGUI will allow access to all NWI applications within a single logon, as controlled by your security setup. Clicking back to Site A, let's take a look at the menu setup. When first coming into the eGUI, the menus are all collapsed. The blue buttons with the arrow indicate that the menu can be expanded. By clicking on the Customer Information button, notice I now display all the options under that group. By going down and clicking on the Router button, I will now display all the submenus in that area. When I click on the District option, notice that I'm displaying the actual screen, as there are no submenus under that menu. Let's go take a look at the subscriber history screen. I'm going to bring up a sample account for us to look at. Notice that the layout and information displayed is just like the regular Discus screens. There are, however, some features in the eGUI that the regular GUI doesn't have. For example, I'm going to put my cursor over the Start transaction, press my Control button, and click my mouse. Notice how this opens up a new screen with a detailed transaction, which allows for an easy comparison of the account history while viewing the details of a particular transaction. To look at the two together, I can drag the detail screen to one side or up and down. Once I'm done with the compare, I just click the red X to close out the detail screen. I mentioned in our introduction how easy it is to add codes on the fly. Let's go take a look at that functionality. Back on the customer service screen, I'm going to click on the CMP button and bring up the complaint screen. Let's say I have a customer complaining about a wet paper, but when I put a W in the complaint code box, there is no complaint for wet. I'm going to add this complaint by going to the System menu, then to Codes. Notice that the system automatically opened up a new session without having to manually open one. I'm going to just bring up the MISS complaint code and copy that. I put in a complaint code of wet, a description of wet paper, and hit Enter. I will now click on Control-Delete, which will reset my codes buffer. Notice I get a dialog box displaying confirming that I've reset that buffer. I click on OK, then I can go back to my subscriber account session. I click on the CMP button again, put my W back in the complaint code box, and there's that complaint we just added in the list. I didn't need to compile or push the codes out. Just that Control-Delete was all that was needed to make the new code available for all the eGUI users. The eGUI allows for an unlimited number of screens to be open. I already have the subscriber screen open, so I'm going to go to my menu, click on District, and bring up a district route. Now I'm going to go back to the menus, go to the vendor profile, bring up that screen, and bring up a vendor. At any time, to see what sessions I have open, I can hit Control plus the spacebar. This opens up a list of the sessions and the corresponding function keys to go to that particular session. Notice there are only 10 options. While you can have an unlimited number of sessions open, the keyboard only allows up to 10 function keys to hotkey between them, so the first 10 will show up there. I'm going to hit Control-2 to go to the DCM screen. Notice how that takes me right to that particular session. When I'm done with the screen, I can hit the red X, or I can hit the Escape key, which closes out the screen that I'm focused on. There are a number of other shortcuts in the eGUI that may be useful. If I hit Control plus a question mark, I'm going to open up a trace dialog box. I'm going to close that out and go back to the subscriber screen and go to the complaint subscreen. From here, I'm going to hit Tab 5 times. Notice that my cursor is in the credit flag field. From this point, I'm going to hit the Home key, and notice that the cursor is returning to the first enterable field. This is a nice feature to get back to the top of the screen without having to click on the mouse. If I click on Control and the lesson sign, the eGUI will return the focus to the menus. Clicking on Control and the greater than sign puts focus back on the session. For those of you who have complained about the size of the screen on the regular GUI, this next feature should make you happy. If I hit Control plus the plus sign, watch the screen get larger. If I hit it again, the screen continues to enlarge. You can make the screens as large as you'd like. To bring the size back down, Control plus the minus sign makes the screen smaller. For power users, or people doing straight data entry where the code values to be entered in are already known, the drop-down list from the combo boxes sometimes get in the way. In the eGUI, these can easily be turned on and off. I'm going to press Control plus the tilde key, and the system will display a Combo Boxes Off dialog box. I click on OK, then I'm going to go bring up the District Route Maintenance screen. Notice that on the Type, Price, and Paper fields, there are no drop-down combos showing. If I press Control plus tilde again, this is going to display a Combo Boxes On dialog box. I'm going to click on the OK button, then I'm going to go back and bring the District Route Maintenance window back up. Notice that on all those fields, the combo boxes are displaying again. It's that easy to turn it on and off. As you can see, the Discus eGUI gives you all the functionality of the regular GUI with some extra features. And it's all accessible from any location with internet access. If you'd like more information on this exciting new GUI or any of the other new Nacy Weber International products, please call Michael Breyer at 203-857-4404 or email us at info@nwintl.com. Thank you.